My dog is eating over there. You're kind of loud there, Pancho. All right. Hey, I don't mean to take anybody away from any shows today, but there's shows all day, so I figured I'd steal CVA Thrifts and WSC. You guys are kind enough to let me have the last 5 minutes of your show and the next 10 minutes of his show, and then we'll raid into him. So I've been getting a lot of questions lately, and I wanted to kind of have an open forum. I'll address a few things if nobody asks any questions, but here's your chance if you're a buyer, if you're a seller, to give us a question. We're going to be live here on Facebook. It didn't work yesterday, I think, in just a second, so those numbers should go up. But if there's a lot of questions outside of this platform and inside of the platform from people that are thinking about joining, thinking about buying, different questions like that, and then sellers who are here. And I have got to the point, I hope Dave and Carrie aren't listening. Everybody's sending me the questions and I'm trying to help folks deal with it the best I can. And I'm getting a little overwhelmed with it. So I figured this might be a good way to kind of clear a few things up and kind of clear my cache a little bit. So I wanted to just open it up to a little bit of a forum, give you a few updates on stuff, some best practices and the way we're doing things now. So we should be live on Facebook at this point or really close to it. Let me refresh just in case. Whenever I have an open forum for questions, I got to be careful with what I'm doing here. So live, let me see if that's live over here. It is live. All right. So I'm going to click on that just in case I got to get rid of anybody. And that chat will be open. And let me get on Facebook. But hey, if you have any questions, if you put them in now, I'll definitely get to them. You can ask me about anything, I suppose, but this is basically about the district platform, different platforms that we've opened now. Dibdit, of course, I'm live on Dibdit right now, Dibdit.com. And there's a lot of folks who want to start live selling and they just don't know how. And they've got some questions. There's some folks who have tried it a couple times and they've got some questions. When to schedule shows and if you can go on when somebody else is going on, et cetera, et cetera. WSC, I appreciate you very much. Sorry to take your time away. I'll give you got 10 minutes on my show anytime you want it. You can just put in the chat, say, remember that time on January 25th where you stole 10 minutes from me? I'll go on there. How much? None that I'm aware of. Let me double check Facebook real quick, make sure we're over there, because there's a bunch of folks watching my Facebook that don't quite understand what we're doing, and I thought I'd open it up for them as well. It looks like we are live over there as well. So I'm going to put one post over there. And there we go. I'll put dibdit.com. Okay, very good. I got a comment from Garage Sale Nation. So again, guys, we are over on Dibdit right now, answering questions, talking a little bit. If nobody has any questions for me, I'm going to address a few things. And if you are a live seller, there's a live seller thread. And I'm going to start directing a lot of live selling questions that I've been trying to deal with over to the live seller thread first and see if some of you experienced live sellers like CW in there and all you folks, VW treasures, can help them out a little bit for sure. So I will, I'm just going to start with a couple things. I'll keep an eye on the questions. The first one, and I addressed this the other day, but yes, you can do multiple shows. So if somebody else has another show scheduled, you can do a show over them. However, we would like at this point for folks to really look at that and try to put your show, schedule it out in advance if you can. There's a lot of people who see an opening and they jump on, and that's perfectly fine. If there's an opening, that's kind of what I do. But, obviously Dave is, goes live whenever Dave goes live. And sometimes that hurts people and sometimes it helps people. It just depends. And I want to be able to go live when I want to. And I'm sure you guys do too. So we're just doing a rule of thumb and communicating with each other and trying to make it what's best for everybody. If somebody's doing a card show and then somebody's doing a show like WSC just did, there go the dogs. Feel free. If they're two totally different genres that are both Dibdit type genres, feel free. No problem whatsoever. If you can, try not to put a similar show that you're running with somebody else's, because obviously you're both going to suffer. You're going to have a little bit less of an audience. The key to this is to grow this audience. And I know I want to thank a lot of the sellers out there for doing what you guys have been doing, sharing your code out there. If you're a seller in here, you have the opportunity to share your code. You also have the opportunity to customize it. If you get in touch with Ivan, he will give you a custom code so you can remember it and give it to people that aren't necessarily resellers, just folks that you think might enjoy this. There is room for more co-hosting as well. I've got that on my list, Second Love. Thank you. I might do that with you tonight. I don't know. You got 2 hours. I need to sell. Which 2 hours is fine too, and you did it the right way, blocking out those two. That's the way I would suggest doing that. It gives people a heads up. Hey, I'm going to sell for a long time, and so we're scheduling an hour blocks, and sometimes you can just put that in the thing. You can put it in your title of we're going to go for 2 hours. Sellers are really smart about, or buyers are really smart, and they want they want to be able to buy, multiple things, maybe even over multiple days. Yeah, I would probably do 2, but I mean, you could put it in the thing as 2 hours, but some people don't, just like, when they're reading your eBay description, right? They don't always read it. So it's up to you. Just be aware, somebody might come in there and then split your audience. And, we're working on other things. We've started these other platforms as well. Obviously I have Shop Commons. And so if you're selling things off in lots, we're trying to grow that over there. That may be an option for you. Then you don't have to worry, because that audience over there is built for buying wholesale lots. This audience is built for pop culture. As of now, we're allowing things to be sold live that aren't necessarily Dibdit things. And you've seen that. But at the same time, we're trying to build up a different marketplace that's niched down into whatever that is. And so feel free to sell stuff that's not in the niche live, but don't list it in the static listings. Hey, Mimi, what did it say? I need a custom one. I need custom code for sure. Yeah, for sure. So you guys can do that. If not, a good practice is to write out that code. You get new people who have never bought before, and you can tell them, hey, right above that shop, when you're a viewer, there's a little hamburger looking thing, and you can put in code whatever. If you've never bought on District before, put in code Commonwealth for me, or whatever your code is. You can tell them right there, and then get $5 for free. You also get $5. And I do this all the time. You hear me say it. I just said it. And I'm getting, anywhere between $15 and $50 a week. Now I have social media. I get that. That I can spin back on other sellers in here. So that's been really cool. I've really got a lot of good feedback from buyers, and I've asked some of the higher buyers to say, what do you think about this? Would you prefer this or this? And almost to a person, they have said, because I have started shipping 1 day a week. I ship on Fridays. So Friday we shipped everything. And then I did a show last night. And I'm going to continue to do shows. I'll probably do two more shows before next Friday. And so they have progressive shipping through all 3 of those shows. But you need to make them aware. It said it needs to be on a minimum of $10 on the code. It does on a live, or it does on a static listing. It does on a static listing. I don't think it does on a live, because I've had people come in and do that on just $2-3 and it's worked. So you can double check with Ivan, but that is true of static listings, a minimum of $10 to get $5 off. But on live, you just put the code in your wallet while the live is going on if you've never bought before. What do you prefer, posting your media on YouTube, Facebook, or is there any other platform do you like posting on? All right. Well, I'll address that question. I've got a few more things I need to get to, but prefer YouTube is where I started. It's kind of my home, and I put everything that goes on YouTube is a new video, where Facebook is new videos, 4 or 5 times a week, and then we recycle old stuff too. So it's a different feel. For sure. There's a lot more buyers on Facebook, which is why I'm on Facebook now. This is a great place to bring in folks, new folks into Dibdit. Speaking of, Dibdit.com, come on over and join us, Dibdit.com. It is a growing, I don't know how to describe it, social media. If you're listening somewhere else, or if you're listening to a replay, because I'll leave these up, it is, District platform has different marketplaces in it. It's very, very unique, and it's growing quickly, and I love it. What do I have now? I have 4 marketplaces. One of them we're relaunching as something else to serve a different need here pretty quick. But the 3 I talk about often, we just launched Polish and Brush, which is beauty, cosmetics to curling irons, everything to do with beauty products and stuff. And my wife, Blue Ridge Mama, and Tina and Lady Arbitrage are doing that, and we're helping them do that. And Tina sold a bunch. I think there's 3 sales over there today, or yesterday. You can use Android. So you can use Android as a seller. There is a way to do that, but as of now, you don't have an Android app, but you can use an Android. You can use a browser to do that. You can use a browser on your computer as well. So hopefully that answers that question. But going back to the shows, multiple shows during the week, as long as you put in your show notes up there. You could also put your host notes. You could put your code up there as well. Anything to help people out. But tell people, hey, like when I start my show, I'm like, I'm shipping every Friday. So if it's Saturday, it's not getting shipped till Friday. And the reason is to extend that time period where people can get that progressive shipping, because it really reduces the cost of their goods. So I think that is one of the biggest benefits for being over here. And just some suggestions for live sellers. I really do suggest trying to, and if you've had enough experience with this, you don't want to lose money on shipping. You want to make a little bit to cover the boxes and stuff. So try to get those progressive things right. I know it's harder with bigger items and work with people, but since I've started doing this Friday shipping stuff, my order sizes have gone from 2 or 3 in a box to like 8 in a box. And that person ends up getting it way cheaper. Good stuff. Facebook posting videos or just post everywhere? No, I think my suggestion would be to start on one platform and grow it. It's what we did over here on District as far as this. Dibdit was the hub where we really got it going, and now it's going well and it's growing. There'll be ups and downs, as you sellers know. Some days it's like, wow, that was great. Let me get back on there. And the next day it's like, well, that wasn't very good. And so thank you all of you, especially in here, for helping us grow this. But if I was doing social media all over again, I would do it the same way. I would start on one platform, one channel. I grew one Commonwealth picker on YouTube. And then from there, I grew Commonwealth flipper on YouTube. And now, then we obviously went to Facebook, and we went to TikTok, and we went to Instagram, and I did another Garage Sale Nation, and now we're over here. Everything's changing, and I'm excited about this. The shipping is what I like. I spend more, of course. So there you go. You heard it here first. Getting on there and selling 2 or 3 things, the cost goes up for somebody. If you can sell, it doesn't even have to be the same show. Like I said, you can come on every day for a week and then ship it one day. Just make sure your buyers know that, and make sure you're communicating with them. The static sales are a little slow on Dibdit, although we've had a rash of some lately. It's like, that was cool. But it is picking up. On Commons, shopcommons.net, for instance, almost everything that sells over there is static sales. And there's tons that sell every day. So it depends on what platform you're on. We just started, like I said, Polish and Brush. If you want to go check that out, go ahead and go over there. We'd appreciate you. We're approving people to sell right now as well. Will Dave be live today? I don't think so. Dave is kind of hard to track down, y'all. I don't think he's going to go live. And he's not going with CVA Thrift, so he's going after me. So that's who he'd be going with. Are you talking about payout method or payment method? Oh, you're asking somebody else. I didn't see that question. What are your other district marketplaces? I just told you a couple of them. We have one, mulligans.com, which we're rebranding and doing something totally different with it and bringing in different partners. So Dave just does Dave. That's why we love him. So Polish and Brush and mulligans.com right now, but that's kind of in the works. And then what else? Shopcommons.net, which is a wholesale marketplace. That's another thing. There's a lot of Dibdit sellers who also sell on Commons. Commons has different requirements. You got to really understand them. Like in Dibdit, you can tag an item in a collection, everything that's appropriate. Right? If it's a Mario plush, you might want to put it in video games and Mario plush or something, or a plush, something like that. But in Commons, you can only use one. So I'm in there constantly fixing things and making it ready. Wants to start a Jeff Core. No, I don't. But we're going to start a few more. Dave obviously has his kitchen marketplace as well. Dave's Kitchen Market. Is that what it's called? And so, hopefully we're going to grow it from Dibdit out, and then maybe at some point Dibdit will go back to what its original roots were, even in the lives, which is basically only pop culture. We don't know how long it'll take to get there. What else do I have written down here? Oh, listings pre-show. Here's a lot of people are using this. I have stopped doing pre-listings because for a lot of reasons. One of them is I want to be able to get on that show at any time, and I want to just add. But really, really make sure. I've found that not just writing the number down, but writing the name of the person who bought it and the number down. And sometimes my listing will say the date on it at this point. So I put the date, the number, and who bought it. When it comes to shipping, because it could be a week later when you're, 3 different shows, you can just find all the items that have the same name on it and then double check that against their order and make sure it's correct. So really, really make a conscious effort to make sure you get these orders right. We've had very few mistakes. These sellers are amazing. But when we do, I get the questions and it comes to me. A lot of times I'll direct them to district support, but sometimes I try to solve it for them as well. So I need to DM you about everything market option. Okay. Sure, I'm starting a small tote wall, putting it, that's exactly what I'm doing. Here's another little tip is my totes are divided up by size. So if these are like smaller items are going in this tote, medium size items are going in this tote, bigger items are going in this tote. And so when I go on to run a show, because I want to hit that duplicate button all the time, I'll just run all the small first with, $4.99 shipping and $1 or something. And the mediums, I might do $5.99 and $1.50, and the larges I might do $6.99 and $2 progressive. But I run them consecutively like that, and it makes things way easier. So when you're making your totes up for a live show, you don't have to pre-list. It takes a lot of time. Here, listen to Second Love. She's got great advice. I personally just write down the person that bought it right after the auction is one. Make sure that they have the right number of items in their package. It helps for shipping. Yeah. So writing down the name is a really, really good way to do that. And a lot of times when you're selling over here, you have 20 items going to one person, which is more cost effective for them and less work for you. I have a few more. I'm running out of time here. I might have to come back on later here. I won't talk about that right here. Oh, here's one more. I've got a lot of people like, hey, I want to start selling over there, but I don't understand. I don't want to cross list everything and have everything is fit. If you're on 4 different marketplaces, let's say as a seller, and you sell something on all of those marketplaces, it all feeds into the same system. And so you're seeing the order. It's not like you're going to different places. It is actually very easy to do that. Those little stickers are perfect compared to sticky notes. I'll also give you this other option if you're doing giveaways, because that can be expensive. You don't have to do giveaways, by the way. Don't feel the pressure. You don't have to list things at $1 like I do. Just obviously follow the trends. Buyers like to find that deal, so they want to have those deals out there. And if you got a higher priced item, you certainly don't have to do that. You can hunt the shelves. You can do all kinds of stuff. But the giveaways, I don't want people to feel pressure to do giveaways. I can even pop into your show and do giveaways. We're going to have more events like we did with the Nintendo Switch. We brought 200 new people to the platform that day. We're going to be doing more of that as well for you sellers, and have fun giveaways and stuff for the buyers. Let me read this, and then somebody go over to CVS and tell them I'm long-winded. I'll be there in a second. Let's see. What's he say? I've been watching sports cars auctions on Dibdit, and I've got to say that I'm shocked at what sells. I have a storage unit and great. I lost you. Filled with cards. Oh, there you go. Seems like it might do well. Yeah, this is a growing market over here. We want the card sellers. We think it can run parallel to the pop culture stuff, and it's a little bit of a crossover audience, but we're trying to grow that market. And we love the clothing part, especially the clothing that kind of fits the pop culture as well. But I think it's the next best way to expand. So yeah, jump in. I would just say anybody who has any questions, go to the live seller chat. Look at these people's names, and I don't want to dump off all my work on them, but they are really, really good, and they're very helpful. Resell to Ride has a tutorial on how to go live. Things have changed a little bit since that, but it gives you an idea. You can go check her channel out. And I've been thinking about making tutorial videos and put them on like my Garage Sale Nation channel. I just haven't got around to it yet. keep track of what I purchased. That's a good point. Hey, buyers, because of people are doing that. First of all, we've heard that, and we're working on. We've told district, and they're working on it. We're looking at doing. See if you gonna sell over here. I'm sorry, brother. We'll be right there. I promise. This will be the last thing I say. You can come back on later. Video receipts for people so they know. But I would suggest if you buy a lot, just keep a little notepad and write it down just to double check your orders for now until that's in place, and communicate with your buyers, because mistakes are made. Obviously, we want to make sure everybody's taken care of. And if you have a particular concern, check district support and send me a message. So video receipts would be big, just in case, we want to make sure everybody gets what they get. All right, I'm going to raid Brandon right now and give him some support. And I may be back on today sometime. I'm going to I'm going to sell a bunch. I've already sold Friday. So if you've already bought from me, we're going to sell some more this week before next Friday. Appreciate y'all.